The night. I think they've both had a good preseason. Might be a little surprised to see Vigu in the goal after Knight started the game against Maryland and played well, but this is going to be a different kind of game. This is going to be a game in which the full field game, clearing the ball, is really important, and it may be that Vigu's experience, helped Danny make that decision to go and give him the start here.
Nice job for the Spiders by Cap coming away with a face-off. That matchup between Jared Chenoy and Anthony Ghobriel, and now Richmond will start with its first offensive possession. And Dom, today, they can score from just about anywhere.
When you slide adjacent like that, if you don't get that second slide, it's just too quick for the defense to react. And so when you're going to go like that, you either got to be able to finish that double, or you got to be, the slide has to be sort of preordained so they're in a position to go.
So an early 1-0 Richmond advantage as Virginia wins this face-off and looks.
In a game like this, there's a tendency to think that Richmond wants to play slowly, but with the shot clock especially, you got to play. And so I would say that, Richmond's been aggressive so far, and I think they're going to need to maintain that pace. He's the one guy for Virginia right now that is the most classic midfielder, dodging off the top, But again, I think he came off the dodge there a little bit, and you just need to get, reorganized defensively quicker than Richmond was able to that time.
Boy, a scramble for this loose ball. Chenoy had it, and then he's on the ground. Now a flag flies out. Jack Pilling's in there hacking away at it for Richmond. They'll come up with it. And so the Spiders go to work. Here's Tommy Stull spinning through the midfield. Gets it ahead to Pilling.
Hold the ball, get your people in the game, take advantage of this flag down. In a game like this, against a team like this, you really want to make every effort to get back in on defense and just take away the break. Rather than making a play, a little bit off balance play in the middle of the field and letting them get behind you, you want to, like I say, you want to get back inside and take away the fast break.
Spiders going to the other end. This one ricochets high into the air.
Nice save by Nunes.
Chenoy still chasing it down.
Other pieces, and I think that Richmond matches up well with the Virginia defensemen. If you try to run around those guys, you're going to have problems. They're just so long, you want to go in, get into their body and go after those guys a little bit. And then Dalton Young and Aiden O'Neill, especially, they've got the attackmen to be able to do that. That ball is still to players in on defense, so you're not your best posture defensively. And yet Virginia is good enough to be able to take advantage of that in those situations.
And the last two goals now, Dom, for Virginia coming in pretty much unsettled situations for Richmond. They haven't quite gotten that defense completely set up, it looks like.
It was 2 and 3 at the end of the game. So he's a real force for them offensively. He's somebody I wouldn't slide too early because he's got such good eyes.
Scramble for this possession. Chenoy trying to wrestle it away there from Ghobriel, but it comes away to Virginia.
I got Cormier's name from Garrett Billings. Does that name mean anything to you?
Garrett Billings was one of my favorite players growing up. He
is that right?
Yeah. Rock, and I used to go and watch games all the time.
Garrett had a great career at UVA.
Chenoy comes away with a nice win here. Gets it across to Young. And now O'Neill will go to work. He's got to work around that defense. Takes a shot wide.
And I think O'Neill must have been to finally get one back there. They've had some good shots, good chances, and Nunes has made some good saves, or they've missed the cage on some opportunities. So the chances have been there, and you just like I said, in a game like this against a team like this, you need to cash in on those.
Chenoy slaps one back, and there's a scramble for it, and the Cavaliers coming out with it for a moment. But it looks like now Jack Fabian's going to get it for Richmond after Ben Weyer had flipped it upfield for the Cavalier goal scorer, but picks up the assist that time.
And it goes back to the turnover. That's the piece. I mean, Richmond had the ball and
they had time to get it across.
That's what I thought also.
Time wasn't running out.
Right. They turned the ball over and winds up in the back of the net.
And your faceoffs are 6-4.
Attacking in the unsettled game, we haven't seen a lot of settled offense. If you were looking at this game so far and you said to me, what does Virginia do in their settled offense, or what's Richmond trying to do? I don't think we've seen a lot of that yet. So both teams are getting after it, and Virginia continues to pressure on the ride.
Joe Gooley taking this ahead now. Gives it to Madonna. He's got some room to work here. And Madonna eventually cut off by Will Erdman. And now Richmond might try to set things up. Back to Alpon. Dalton Young here. Tried to get a switch, didn't get it. Alpon worked for Millen. He scored quick and early. Cormier has one and Boyden has one, and Terenzi's also scored for the Cavaliers.
If I was Coach Shamati in that locker room, I wouldn't have been unhappy with how the play was in the first half, but I would have got on my guys a little bit and said, "Hey, fellas, we gotta."
5 margin. Joey Terenzi pulling off that trick. That's his second goal of the contest. And right off the bat, Virginia back to a 3-goal advantage. Ben Weyer coming up with that ball off the face-off. And now over to Schellenberger. So back to the X. Face-offs are even at 7 apiece today. So
back
Chenoy
to all
doing
even.
A good job. Yep. And Chenoy digs that out. Still up for grabs. Now we get a whistle. And they give Richmond possession here.
Wow. And hopefully that'll shake O'Neal up a little bit here.
Number 9 on the season for O'Neal. And now Richmond down by 1 goal to the Cavaliers here in the third. This ball picked up, the ground ball by Erdman comes away with that, the freshman out of Connecticut.
Virginia has numbers. That last time down for Richmond on offense, you mentioned Merklinger's name. We've hardly talked about him. They've hardly had that unit in the game at all, and we haven't seen a lot of settled offense at either end of the field. I'd like to talk a little bit about the influence that a new offensive coordinator has had at Virginia. Kevin Cassis, longtime head coach at Lehigh, who's
for the Cavaliers. Young with 3 for Richmond. So you wonder if Cormier starts stepping up here in the second half a little bit, or if the game comes to him, or he tries to take the game to himself.
I would, if I was Coach Tiffany, I'd be telling Peyton to calm down just a little bit and pick your spots a little.
And we're all even at 9 apiece. Virginia's got 10 face-off wins to 8 for Richmond as they square up at the X here now. And Virginia comes away with that. First goal capitalizes on the man-up chance. With the extra man, they're 1 for 2, and Richmond's 2 for 2 today on that extra man opportunity, but Virginia gets a big one here to go ahead. Nice win at the X by Ghobriel. He'll charge in and fire. Vigu gets a stop.
Great save.
Hunter Smith out with it and shoots it ahead.
Virginia.
Well, Nunes has 10 saves. Vigu has 14. And some scrambles here, and coming up with that ground ball is Joe Gooley, one of the good Spiders defensive midfielders. After the collision, been a lot of contact today and a lot of good physical play.
The play so much, and that opportunity was going to present itself, and that record has stood since Doug graduated in 1997, and Peyton can be very proud of that. 165
goals, I believe. Cormier came in, by the way, as we talked about.
Peyton has a way of finding that open space, that little piece of space on the inside, and obviously Virginia has a lot of confidence to throw him the ball in there. It almost appeared like it was one of the plays that happened early in the game.
Chenoy scrambling for possession, and then a ground ball for Gooley here now. Lobs it ahead to Stull.
There you go.
And Stull at the other end. Answers quickly.
And that invariably gives the other team an opportunity to get in behind you and create an unsettled.
And now Chenoy, after this ground ball on the face-off, still loose, picked up by Cap, and as he goes to the turf, he'll lose it. Tried to shovel it off to a teammate, but Virginia comes away with it.
you know, just in that play right there, where Colsey scores, he gets the assist on the play. He's covered by a short stick. And so throughout last year, he's being covered by the #1 defenseman on the other team, #1 long pole on the other team in every situation. He gets here, and he's covered by a short stick. You know, he must just feel like life is, you know, starting over again. And that's the particular problem that Virginia, you know, provides, is that
Faceoffs are now 15-10, but Richmond wins that one. Dalton Young on the wing goes to O'Neill. O'Neill's marked there by George Fulton.